we're back with another engine, basically sight unseen. He says no idea if it runs. It does have a cracked block, but he says it doesn't mix oil and water, which I'm not sure how he knows that if he doesn't know it runs. So it's another gamble. We're gonna see if we can get it running, and I'm gonna try to patch the cracked block. If it's only externally cracked, that's fine. I can deal with that. If it's internally cracked, the engine is junk, unfortunately. Or without a lot of work, I guess I should say. But we're about 40 minutes out, and I will get back with you guys when I get the engine back to the shop. Stay tuned, okay? Nobody leave unless you're getting a drink or a snack. I know you got something in that house. Grab it. It's gonna be a good video. All right, we're back with the locked up Mercruiser with the cracks. This is gonna be a miracle if this thing don't mix water. I mean, I know it's gonna leak. I can repair the leaks and the cracks, but the biggest thing is making sure it doesn't mix water and oil because of an internal crack. So I just spent the last hour using this used out drive that I can't sell to anybody, and I got this. Took me forever to get that off. These were seized on there, just a nightmare. I mean, you can see how much hitting I had to do to this poor socket that is now junk. But now we can take this and stick it in the back of the engine. So I don't have to fiddle around with the bolts on the front. Mesh that with the splines, and then find a tool. Like this will work. And we're gonna stick it in here and see how locked up this thing really is. Let's see. Oh, it just moved. What? What? This ain't even locked up at all. It's turning. Okay, well that's a good sign. If we get a full rotation out of it. Ooh, got compression. This thing might be a runner. I mean, we won't know until I hook a battery up to it. But at least I know the starter will spin it. And I will definitely be keeping this tool. For sure. Hi, Hudson.
Hi.
Well, that's cool. This has electronic ignition on it, so we don't have to clean any points. How'd you know that was an exhaust pipe?
There's a little hole right here.
You're right, that is the exhaust. Okay, well, it's got the electronic ignition on it, so we won't have to clean points.
Oh, Daddy, I really want to come up there and sit up there.
We're just gonna
I want to sit up here.
hook some fuel to it. I'll get my jump pack and see if we can turn this thing over. And then we can see if the fuel pump's pumping.
Oh,
Doubt it.
Daddy, I really want to go up there.
Really doubt it.
I want to go up there. I want to get up there.
But once we get it running, we can hook water to it and then obviously see if it mixes.
Oh, Daddy,
And that'll be the tall tale sign.
I want up there.
And then we'll see, we'll go from there. All right, we got our pulled into the shop. It's raining outside. Just filled my gasket. Well, I didn't fill it, put a gallon and a half in it. And what we're gonna do today is see if we can get this thing barking. Don't mind the mess in the truck bed, you know, boat stuff. First order of business is going to be, I know, well, at least I think there's water in the oil. Water sits on the bottom of the oil. So we're going to lift it up and we're going to crack the drain plug and drain the water out of it before we even try to attempt to start it because we don't want it mixed. He just recently changed the oil. It's got a Napa filter on it. He told me he did, but I don't know the history of it and I don't know if it sat outside. Well, it's outside a little bit in the rain this morning, but that won't be enough to hurt it. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're going to get a forklift. We're gonna lift this sumbitch up And we're gonna get to that drain plug and we're gonna crack it loose, get the water out of it, and then we'll just simply add fuel and my jump pack, and we'll see if we can get it to fire. And then we can see if it mixes water and oil. Because once I get it running, I'm going to put the garden hose to it and run water through it to make sure it's not internally cracked. Because if it's internally cracked, well, this turns into a parts engine, unfortunately. So let's get to it. This little pissant strap will hold it. We'll find out. It's just a swing. Got oil on it. No water. Thank goodness. And oil don't look that bad. So that's good. Like I said, this is electronic ignition. So we shouldn't have to clean any points. We got our fuel tank set up here. Our old boat tank. We'll just literally plumb it in here. Like so. It's on, that's there. Hook our battery cables up. They're both black. That's fantastic. Oh, they do have different colors heat shrink. Good ground. So maybe the starter is actually locked up. I'll tell you here in a second. Grab our key. There it is. Okay, see if we get anything. Smoke already? Okay. We're gonna pull that starter off and we'll take it apart. Obviously it's not spinning. We know the engine spins. A lot of times that I've noticed what happens is in the boat, the bilge fills up with water from the rain and the starter actually gets submerged underwater. And what happens is it rusts the starter and in return it doesn't spin. So we'll take this off and we'll take it apart and we'll see what's going on with it. I've done this enough, you think I'd know. I did. We want to try to use as little money as possible because again, we don't know if it's just junk or what. Starter bolts are coming out nice. Well, at least this one is. It's definitely had water in it. See the teeth? All rusty. Okay, let's put it on the bench and see what's wrong with it. Okay, we'll start by taking these two bolts out here. These screws here hold the brushes in. And when you pop this cover, it's, I'm gonna try to pull the snout and everything away from it, because when you pull this top hat off, the brushes, they grip the contact. When you pull the armature out of there, the brushes are spring loaded and they go like this. And then trying to put those contacts on the back of the armature in those brushes with it being spring loaded, my goodness, they're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. Uh-oh. Thought it was gonna break for a second. This motor should separate from the Bendix. Should. It's definitely moving. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh boy. Oh, there's a lot of rust in there. Get this wire off. Oof. Oh, there we go. Gotta be careful with these nuts. You can break them. Break the plastic, the stud, and then either gotta get a new solenoid or a whole new starter. And we're trying to avoid buying a new starter. This comes out. Spinning now. Oh, there we go. Hey, there's your motor. Look at the inside of that. Definitely has had a little bit of moisture in there. Now we'll see if the motor spins. Well, I think that's our problem. I'm about ready to pull this off, but we're gonna be fighting with these brushes. Oh. Oh. Well, the brushes are stuck in. These 4 contacts are the brushes. But that's not what I'm talking about. Look at inside of there. My goodness. Let's see if we can just pull it out. Oh boy. The magnets are trying to come out. That's not good. Couple pieces of magnets. It's not good, Doc. Definitely had water in it at some point. Well, I guess what we're gonna do is clean it up. Try to get these brushes to do the brushy thing. Like they're supposed to move in and out under spring tension. Here's your springs right here on each brush. We'll try to free those up, and then we'll wire wheel this very lightly on the wire wheel. And then we'll clean our magnets out, which is gonna be a trick in itself. and then we'll put it back together and see if it works. So I'll be right back. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the brushes to move without breaking them. I had a pick in there. I was just trying to gently push them out so I could clean out the slots they ride in. But every time I did that, they would start breaking. So we have no spring tension on this copper part here, on the contact, which goes like this. So I'm just gonna put some grease in it and put some grease in the planetaries and see what happens. Spins nice. The brushes are still contacting, but it's only a matter of time until they don't. Okay. Then we'll put a little bit of grease in the planetaries here. Wonder if I can get these out. Everything is fine. Magnets back over the armature. Oh, don't forget the little ball. Not sure what it does, but it came out of it. See if our bolts line up. Power wire's back on. I'm gonna grab the jump pack. Find a good ground. Good as any. Hook this right to here. And we'll just bump the jump pack. Oh. Well, it worked for a second. Well, we can't say we didn't try. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to try to start it. Dang. Okay, here's the plan. So the auto parts store didn't have the starter. They said they did, and I was looking at it, and these two mounting holes were offset just a tad. They had this one, but the problem is, it's for the right side of an engine. See the difference, the nose cone? So, what we're gonna do is, the motor on here is bad, okay? The motor on here is brand new. We're gonna just put the good motor on this old nose cone and see what happens. And I hope that I don't destroy this thing in the process, because if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna take it back. So, let's get to it. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I don't know if they're the same exact size. They look really close. Grease was good. Okay, old motor. Looks identical. I don't know where our ball went though. Are these the same size at least? Yes, they are. Good. Hopefully it comes apart real nice. Okay. This should just come right apart. Oh. Yes, it did. There's our motor. Here's our plate. And those plantaires look nice, don't they? Wish I could get the whole thing out. But I just don't know how it comes out. Oops. That's just the bushing off the nose cone. Be nice to put those new plantaires in there. Wish I had the knowledge to get it out. And pray the plantaires in this one are good. I mean, they should be. I mean, look at them. I think our little ball is still in there. This one didn't have a ball though. There's that. Trying to get these bolts to line up is going to be kind of tricky, I think. There's that. We'll put our, oh, it's just a hair too short. Or is it? Short, but it should work. Okay, that's tight. We'll put the jump pack back up there and make sure it works. Hey! Oh! What was that? Just a bad connection? I hope. Ladies and gentlemen, it works. Let's go put it back on the boat motor and see if it'll crank it over. The camera wasn't recording the whole time, and I didn't know that. Anyway, what I was just going over, so I pulled the plugs out, checked for spark, has fantastic spark, and even, look at this, the fuel pump's picking up fuel. So the fuel pump's pumping. Problem is the jump pack's dead. So I'm going to let that charge up for 7 hours or so today, and then we will revisit this evening, and maybe we will hear it run. I know we're going to hear it run. I know it. And then we can do the water test. That's going to determine everything. So then after the water test, we can determine what we want to do with it. So obviously we're going to sell it if it passes, but I want to try to fix these cracks. We got a crack down here, had pushed out, and then we have a crack up here in the manifold. But I'm not going to do any of that until I know it doesn't mix oil and water. So that'll be tonight's journey. Okay, jump pack is fully charged. We're going to try this one more time. Hook our ground up.
We're gonna try to work on it again.
Yep. Hook our positive up.
And get ready to go.
Okay.
And then water gonna come out of there when it's time.
No, I don't have the water hooked up just yet. Just want to make sure it runs. Might have dumped a little bit of fuel down in the carb.
Oh, Daddy, it's shaking the jump pack.
Yeah,
It's shaking it a little bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah,
We'll get
but
this air cleaner. It's a spark arrestor. It doesn't clean the air. We're going to splash a little bit down the card.
And the splash a little bit then?
Yep. Oh. Well, that should do something.
So after this.
Ready?
Yep.
It ran for a little bit. But it might be trying. Sure can. It runs. Ready? One more time. It runs.
Did you turn it off?
Yeah, I did.
I thought it turned off by itself because it said at
Check the oil here. Oh. What? Again?
Oh, no.
Oh. Oh, we're good.
I got my finger.
Huh?
Got my finger.
We're good. Oil looks really good. Now, the moment of truth is going to be when we hook water up to this thing. And if it mixes, it's junk. This is basically the moment of truth.
Yeah. We're not gonna hook one.
Okay. Jump packs on. I'll turn the water on. Okay, we got water coming out, rusty water. We added water, you could hear the misfire. That's not a good sign. Didn't have a misfire before. So now we're gonna check the oil
Yeah.
and see if it mixed. If it mixed, this engine is junk.
I love you. I love you.
Actually,
I love you.
we're actually good.
Love you.
Let it run for a little longer.
Oh, that my throat is feeling better.
Hmm?
I'm really feeling better.
That's good. See if I can get this thing to run a little longer.
Hey, Daddy, I don't know if that might be.
It might be a head gasket. See how well it's running right now? When I turn the water on, it has a misfire. Actually, it's running really good right now. Okay, maybe it was just because it was cold. It's running really, really good right now. There's that misfire. warming up nicely. It's charging the battery. It stopped leaking out of those cracks. Yeah, like I said, it's not leaking out of those cracks, but I'm still going to try to repair those. I may make a video on those, I may not. Yeah, it's running good. I'm going to look into that misfire a little bit on cylinder 4. And then, yeah, be ready to ship. Okay, so I pulled number 4 spark plug out and it was wet with water. What that means is 2 things. That means either it's a head gasket, which is not good, or what I've seen before is this is basically a tank. So you have water that runs over the exhaust manifold and the intake manifold. It's all one piece. With this being cracked, especially on that side of cylinder 4, I'm wondering if it cracked the intake runner and it's getting water in that cylinder. So unfortunately, it's going to need a manifold, but those are relatively cheap, you know, give or take. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pack this all up. I'm going to take it out to my storage yard, and then I'll get a manifold ordered for it. You can get a used one for a couple $100. Put on there. While I got the manifold off, I want to make sure there's no other cracks other than this one. And then I will get into fixing it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Well, it was fun. They're always fun. So I'm going to get this thing fixed up and probably post it for sale. So thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.